turning it out and looking very real, darling, in gold lame and wigs for days. So I was in the Stonewall one night just hanging out and talking to Miss June, and it was nodding out on down, being very evil when she said to me, "Them pigs bust in here tonight, they better keep off my case." And she was right, because she wasn't bothering nobody. And sure enough, don't you know the whistle done blew, and in they come pushing and shoving everybody just like a bunch of pigs. But ain't nobody said nothing. Because in them days, if you were gay, you didn't say you were gay. So they're pushing and shoving everybody, and ain't nobody said nothing. And then this pig gave Miss June one shove, knocked her down, ripped her dress. Now, darling, everybody knows that queens are easygoing, lazy, soft-hearted people who you can shove around, but there are two things you cannot do to a queen.
What's that?
One, you cannot rip a queen's dress, and two, don't you ever, ever, ever touch the face, darling.
The thing is, I think most people in general just don't understand drag or transvestism or cross-dressing or anything. They just, they see it either black or white.
Over the realms I've known, and I've known some until androgyny I was lonesome.
And then there are other girls who live as women all day, and then Chrysis, who has who has breasts and lives as a woman, but doesn't want to get a sex change either.
Then I found my two sides, both good and gentle guys. They took me places I wanted to be.
I myself, I just perform as a woman. And not even, I mean, sometimes I usually don't think of myself as a woman. I mean, I look like somewhat of a woman, but it's sort of a sick characterization of what a woman is.
Both masculine and femme are within me. To suppress one side would be just ghastly.
If I used only one, I'd miss out half the fun. So we let both yin and yang hang out. It's all in your head. You heard what I said. So let it hang out androgyny. Now don't be afraid. That's how you among the things on male or female androgyny. You can't say macho, macho, it's just another word you're hiding. Find your treasure, just join with the herd. Again and again, we've all got to decide our heads, so let it all hang out. That's just up to you. They pop up, just some living, so give yourself a break. You can say you're a real feline, feminine, that you're a cat. But if you're being honest, that's not where you are at. Again, I'm insane, and dodging the same. It means let your yin and yang hang out. It means let your yin and yang hang out. It means let your yin and yang hang out in the closets and into the streets.
The people that like drag queens are most of the time the sickest people in the world. I was sort of shocked when she told me that she had never wanted to, and she just wanted to have her tits, you know what I mean, and be a woman, but she still didn't want to, like cut off her penis. It would be like cutting off your hand, I suppose.
A lot of drag queens are obsessed with glamour, and I think when it comes down to having a sex change, they don't have it because they realize that they have a sex change, they'll just be another woman. So they don't have a sex change. They'll have breasts, they'll take hormones, but they'll still have a penis.
Would I now go through a sex change? Well, I don't know. Like, what's there to change into once you've transcended it?
She was an amazing man. And I say man with great hesitation because she really, to me, was Chrysis. And I only knew Chrysis as a she because visually that's how I saw her and got to know her. The first time I became very close with Chrysis, I didn't know, not very close in having a relationship with her. I didn't know she was a boy. I thought she was a lesbian. I said, who is that dyke with a t-shirt with her nipples showing through? I had no idea Chrysis was a man. Until she said, hi, how you doing? I'm Chrysis.
Part of what they're doing is a political statement and saying that they don't have to, you know, fit into the limits that, you know, society or God or anybody has imposed on them.
One of the things that's happened in New York, which is very interesting, is this whole concept of chicks with dicks, which is basically saying, you know, we're dressed up in all this chicky gear. All the young kids in New York who are involved in the underground scene and are involved with chicks with dicks and all of that are all friends of hers, you know, and they treat her like Big Mama, you know, they can't wait to see her, and it's always about this, and they're trying to be like her, and this, that, and the other, you know, it's quite marvelous.
Most of the time while I knew Chrysis, she had platonic lovers, you know, and people that she loved, and I was one of those people.
She had the affection. She surrounded herself with people that she would be mama. She was mama around all the young drag queens, around all the young trendy fashion queens out there, and she was mama. Chrysis really loved young boys. Young, New Jersey type, collegiate, little blonde boys that she could take care of. Financially, physically, because she was very butch in bed.
Stay away from little kisses, stay away from little boys, stay away from little blisses, stay away from little toys.
Good, clean relationships, you know, maybe some low-down, funky relationships. As far as any of her lovers, people that she would take as a lover, the way I always saw it is that was a side of her that was very destructive, because the people that she did choose to have as lovers always in the long run turned out to take away from her.
She only knew how to get love from young boys. That's the only love that she felt right with, because she was not a loved young boy. So she had to keep finding herself in these young boys.
When they walked out on her, you know, it's the old thing, it's too much rejection. It's rejection by her family, rejection, I'm sure, by other, you know, other people. You know, it's not easy for that type of person to have a relationship. It's not easy for anybody to have a relationship, let alone, you know, a pre-op transvestite.
I put an ad in the personal, you know, I'm looking for a little action. And I said I want a man that's not gonna beat me, that's not gonna run around behind my back, and is a good lover. A few days later, the doorbell rings. I go in there's this guy standing there, he has no arms, no legs. And I said, yeah? He said, well, I came to answer your ad. I said, you did? And he said, yeah, I got no arms, I can't beat you. I got no legs, I can't run around behind your back. I said, yeah, but I want a good lover. He said, well, I rang the doorbell, didn't I? Now I'm going to sing another little song. I'm going to sing another little song about a little problem that most of us hope will have one day. A good man is hard to find.
not only does she lead the life of a performer, a goddess, and a star, but she also has her own personal mission, which, as far as I can tell, is nothing less than to save the world, or at least educate large parts of the population. Ever since I've known her, she's been on some mission.
The transformation of the planet will come about, and the salvation of the planet will come about when we unconceal, each of us for ourselves, that there is nothing to be saved from. There is nothing to transform. The transformation and salvation of the planet is at hand and is now in the moment.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as our Father, lovers all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
I'm an entertainer for entertainment, and the transformation arises naturally out of that through my commitment. The miracle that that we're talking about does not occur in time, in linear time. The miracle that we're talking about is at hand now. This is the miracle. Now, this is the transformational part, darling. This is how I have more time to do everything that I need to do. #1 single on charts. Now, when I put that in there, there was no record. There was no record to have a #1 single. I've just completed. I've just completed the record. Major label record deal, Grammy Award, Platinum LP, relationships in place by 6/1/90. Right, major motion picture star, 6/17/93.
I wish my life could be this fabulous.
One day, I'm going to be a star.
She wanted to be a movie star. And the truth is, she became a movie star.
I mean, it was a terrible shock to me because of somebody who's gone through so much, you know, to have to face this really gigantic challenge. I mean, she's faced every challenge there is, I think.
Monday morning, woke up free. All I wanted was to be me. Smoked a joint that got me high, high as I could be.
Keep her spirits up. I'm making her this gown that's going to be just gorgeous and stuff. I mean, I feel helpless. There's nothing else I can do. I mean, and in my when I get in my suicidal moods, I wish that I could trade places with her because she values her life so much. And I feel bad because I really don't, and somebody that does deserves to live, I think.
I want you to know that you're here not to bury me. You know, I have incredible insurance, and you know, they give me like thousands of dollars if I die, and you know, I have no intention of doing that.
Given somebody who's spent their life, you know, depending on being beautiful and being adored and worshipped for that, and all of a sudden they don't have that anymore. She's terrified. She's terrified and she's afraid she can't deal with it. You know, the only thing she did to hurt anybody was to hurt herself.
Just cannot be free. Just cannot be me.
She could have decided to, you know, have breast reduction and, you know, going back to being a man and dealing with that. But by the time she sobered up and could deal with it, it was, you know, it was already too far gone. She had had huge implants, you know, it was just too hard. It was going to mean surgery and it was going to mean scarring. You know, so there was, I'm sure, always a part of her that would have liked to deal with that and would have liked to find a path where she would have been more acceptable in life and dealt with that, because that's what she tried to do when, you know, when she was sobering up. That's what she was trying to do. But it was just, it would have meant too much trauma.
The image didn't kill her. Her overdosing on everything killed her. I really believe that. She overdosed on the hormones for years. She overdosed on Dolores when she was doing Dolores. She overdosed on loving herself. You know, she was an overdosing type person. I don't think she was I don't think because she created Chrysis is why she thinks she died. I think she knows. She knows that she overdosed. She took too much of everything. When I saw Chrysis a month after she came out of the hospital, you know, with cancer, and saying, this one's not letting me smoke, she said, meet me in the bathroom. You know, and we went and had a cigarette. And she was really happy having that cigarette. At the same time, you got any money for me? You know I'm dying. She worked until the end. What can I say, you know? I miss her so much.